Hello everyone. This will be my first YouTube video if it ends up getting posted. We will see. I was just sewing a pouch and I thought I would, hey, I always think I want to do YouTube videos and I don't do them. And it just popped into my head and I thought, do it. What are you waiting for? So here I'm doing it. I have my stitch length set at 4 millimeters. I am just sewing zipper tabs on. And I'm using a 1/4 inch foot because I think it's the 1/8 inch side there for my seam. And yeah, let's go. I haven't been sewing very long. I started sewing about 4 years ago when the pandemic was first declared because I'm a farmer's market vendor and the farmer's market was closed because of the pandemic until further notice. Could have been closed for the whole season, we didn't know, and because of all that uncertainty, I crochet hats for a living, actually, hats and fingerless gloves. And crocheting, I can crochet with my eyes closed, and I just needed something else to really distract myself from all the chaos that was going on in the world. So I decided that I would take up sewing. Hang on, I gotta go get some good scissors. Here they are. Okay, so yeah, I bought a sewing machine in 2010 from a co-vendor, a secondhand one, of course, and it got thrown in the garage and it stayed there. And when we needed to wear masks, I thought, you know what, get that sewing machine out. I'm going to watch YouTube tutorials. I'm going to make us all some masks. It's just me and my husband and our tenant who lives in a separate building. And I thought, yep, I'm just going to make masks. And I was so stressed out. Oh my gosh, but it was so much fun. So much fun to sew. And then when the market did open, all I wanted to do was be at home and sewing. It was just, an addict was born and I couldn't be happier. I just love sewing. I gave it up for, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months because I had played with the bobbin case, and it wasn't this sewing machine. It was the secondhand one. This is not the secondhand one that I spent only $50 on. But anyway, I played with the bobbin case and was adjusting the tension, and I had really... I had done a real poor job. So I could only take it in on a Saturday to get fixed. And I always work Saturdays. So this one Saturday, I finally brought my bobbin case with me with the bobbin and the thread, and I took it in and got it adjusted, and he just went, wow. So I haven't played with it since. And once he fixed that, I thought, I'm just going to start sewing again. Oh my gosh. But I'd already made enough masks. What else could I make that's simple? And so I thought zipper pouches. I had bought zippers from the dollar store a couple years before the pandemic started. And I was trying to think of a way of punching holes in the zipper tape to crochet into to create a zipper in a hat. Not thinking it would work, but I thought, well, I got the zippers, it's an option. And I never did try it. So I thought, I have zippers, and I dug them out and I did my first zipper pouch. I wish I'd kept it. It was awful, but I had done it. I was so scared of sewing zippers, and it's so much easier than you think. And if anyone out there is scared, just go for it. It is so much fun. I've never done this before, with video, I mean, so I don't know about my angles. I don't know if you can hear me very well, but hey, I'm just going for it. So right now I am finding my centers on the pouch. Where's my fabric pen? Let me mark that again. We'll fold it again. Beep, beep. Need readers. Wow, can't see that. I usually stand right where the camera is, so. That's the center, I think. No, it's not. Oh my goodness. There we go. In the center of the zipper. Anyway, I watch lots of YouTube tutorials for zipper pouches. What else do I watch? Tote bags, handbags. Love to get into handbags, but that takes, in my opinion, that takes an industrial machine. And my husband just bought me the sewing machine that you saw. He just bought me that last year in August. And because I told him, I convinced him that the price was going to go up because Prime Days was going to be coming up. And what else? Prime Days and just fall and winter. People will be inside more and they will be sewing, doing indoor crafts. So they would likely hike up the price, and hike up the price they did. This is a Brother CS7000X, a co-vendor who was my neighbor at the farmer's market for, quite frequently throughout the season last year. She had bought that sewing machine the year before, and she just absolutely loved it. So she convinced me to buy it, and yes, I'm happy with it. But now that I really, I have more confidence in sewing, you might be looking at me thinking, okay, she doesn't know anything. That zipper does work better, by the way. But I want the industrial now. And my husband says, you know what, how about you just try your best to sell what you got, the zipper pouches and stuff. And once you start selling and you see that there's a demand for it, then I'll buy you the industrial. So that's what I'm kind of gonna try. The farmer's market season just started at the end of March. We always open up first Saturday in April unless Easter is in March. Then we open up on that weekend. So that's what happened. I just used my long nose tweezers. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I use my long tweezers. Let's change the stitch length to I'm going to go 3, and I'm going to increase the stitch speed, sewing speed, and start sewing my zipper in here. I've got my exterior panel and the zipper sandwiched in between. Let's speed this up a little bit more as it goes over the zipper tab. And I'm coming up to my zipper pull. I will stop with the needle down, lift up the presser foot, and move that zipper out of my way. You don't want to leave your zipper in there because then you end up with a bit of a bump in your seam, and that's not fun. You don't want that. In my opinion, for myself, that would not be a sellable pouch. Maybe sellable as what I would call a misfit, but misfits are so much cheaper than the non-misfits, so I kind of want it to work out really well. Cut these threads off and take a look. Next up will be the what's that thing called? Oh my gosh, the top stitch. Wow. So I always like to top stitch at a stitch length of 4. That's what I did my zipper tabs at. So, and sometimes I do take the pouch to the ironing board, but not this time. And I like to use my 1/4 inch foot for my top stitching. I know I watch all the videos and nobody I see changes their presser foot except for the zipper foot. But this is just what makes me comfy. Wrong way. And what if it makes me comfy? I do it. To each his or her or their own. This is thick. I found that this sewing machine doesn't really like thickness all that much. Love it? but it does have its limitations. There's a coin purse card holder pouch that I made from a tutorial on YouTube, and it had a flap to cover where your card slots are, and it did not want to top stitch over that, and I was quite surprised. I thought it was one of the first projects I did on this new, this zipper, come on, there we go. One of the first projects I did on this new sewing machine of mine in August or September, I guess it would have been. And I thought maybe it was because I was a newbie on the sewing machine. So I postponed making another one for months upon months and just made one maybe a month and a half ago. I had the same issue. I'm like, oh my gosh, but at least I was prepared for it, so it didn't freak me out or stop me or anything like that. That top stitching is not very good. But you know what? Too bad. This way you know, oh, it is definitely handmade. I mean, yes, it is machine made, but ain't no big business that made it. I'm going to assemble the rest of the pouch, and I will meet you back at the sewing machine. I'm back. I'm using a new Fusibles lace too. I bought it on Amazon and was quite excited to try it out, and I think it's good. I used to use Pellon. I still do. But the price has gone up so much. Whoop, that's the wrong presser foot. Price has gone up so much that I just can't justify spending that kind of money. I mean, if I was making good money with my sewing, I would, but I'm not yet. Mind you, tourist season, we are big on tourist season where I live. I'm in BC, Canada, and that's as much as I feel like saying right now. So when tourist season picks up, hopefully people will appreciate my sewing and purchase it. That would be awesome, because I really want that industrial. I ended up, a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, gave me a bunch of 2.5-inch strips of fabric for quilting. I do not quilt. So I assembled a whole bunch of the strips of fabric, chose the colors that I wanted to put together, and I put them together, and that's what I got there. So everything is not lining up 100% to my liking, but I can trim everything away and hopefully it'll look okay. And I remember what it's called. I'm gonna top stitch. Whoop whoop. I remembered. I am not a spring chicken anymore. I'm not an old chicken though either. I'm right in between, but I do have brain fog at times. So yeah, I do forget what I'm saying mid-sentence, and it's infuriating and kind of funny. See, the zipper works pretty good. I just buy, most of the time I buy my zippers in bulk from Amazon. You get a good wide variety of colors. And I'm just going to stop that for a second. I'm not using a foot pedal for my stitches. I'm just using the automatic. It's a computerized sewing machine, and I prefer that. I'm okay with the foot pedal, and I know I gotta get, really comfortable with the foot pedal if I get an industrial, when I get an industrial. It's happening. When, I don't know, but soon, hopefully. But, yeah, it's going to be fun to get that machine. Hopefully. I've heard lots of reports of people being scared, and I'm 99.9% sure I'd be scared too. They're big, they're intimidating for sure. So I'm just changing out to the, the regular basic presser foot that you sew with. And I'm just putting these, exterior to exterior and lining to lining. I'm just lining it up at the zipper tab area. And you know what? This video is going to end up being long enough. So I'm going to pause it and I'll meet you back when I'm almost finished. I changed my mind. I decided to come back in here for the last home stretch of the stitch work. I ended up doing the sides near the zipper tabs first with the 1/4 inch foot. It's something I had never tried before, and so I thought I would try it this time, and not overly a big fan of that. It worked, but we'll see. Not too sure about it. And you know, I go through phases where I like to use the cutter on the side, and then I don't like to use the cutter on the side, and I just like to use my little thread snips. And this is a mess. Not sure I want to box my corners or not. It was originally the plan, but I'm really not too impressed with this sewing job. And I know some tutorials show the bombs, but not all of them. To box or not to box? That is the question. I'm gonna say no. No, not gonna. I am gonna trim my corners though. Let's reduce some bulk. Careful not to cut into my stitches. And this ended up being quite crooked, so I have no idea what this is going to turn out looking like. Much like the video. This could be a dog's breakfast, but maybe not. Ooh, that was loud. Anywho, let's turn this puppy out, right side out, and take a look. Ooh, that's a small little birthing hole, but we'll see how it goes. Come on, baby, look good, please. Please be fully sellable, not a misfit. I have a feeling it's going to be a misfit, but I've had that feeling before and been wrong, and it's been awesome when I've been wrong. So we will see. One thing, I remembered to keep my zipper undone partway. That is something that I have been horrible at remembering to do. I end up getting one of my teeny tiny little crochet hooks, and I jab it in there, and I grab the zipper pull and I hook it in there and end up getting it open. But the struggle takes me longer than if I had just ripped it open a little bit at one of the seams and tried that way. Just popping out my corners here. I do have my little, I bought it at a dollar store. It's actually for scrapbooking, I think. It was in the scrapbooking section anyway. But it came with this, which is kind of almost a perfect poking out tool. And it came with this, which I think is for burnishing, for stickers to, you know, make them actually really adhere to whatever you're putting them on. But I don't do scrapbooking or anything like that. But I thought, hey, that's like a point turner. So I bought it. And it turns out I love this little doodad too, that little gadget. And I bought 2 packages in case they never carry them again. So let me just see what we got going on here. Got my corners turned out. Oh my gosh, that is awful. So crooked. What went wrong? Well, I don't like how tall it is to how wide it is. Meh, it's a misfit, but I'll finish it up. I see it through. Sorry about my arm in the way. Get that back where it belongs. And I like to change out my presser foot for the final seam too. Closing seam. It's nice. It allows me to get a nice narrow close seam. Oh my goodness. What a mess. What a mess, what a mess, what a mess, mess. I actually do flea markets too. A flea market season just kind of opened up in my area. And this might be where it ends up, at the local flea market, which, you know what, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I have to be okay with it, because if I'm not, then I'm upset, and I don't want to be upset. And I'm not upset, so that's good. It is just what it is. Just sewing through both layers with it all tucked in, nice and neat. Could have changed out my thread color to match this lavender. I bought this fabric November or December of last year. I was looking for Christmas fabric because I wanted to make a stocking for my cat, Lily, that I adopted in August, 3 years old. Got her 2 weeks before I got the sewing machine. And I wanted to buy Christmas fabric, but there was nothing that really appealed to me. So I found this in the clearance, and I was like, well, everything she has is purple. Like her stroller, her harness, her leash. She's a rescue. She was three and a half when we got her. She just turned 4 with the assigned birthday I gave her. And she's gorgeous, and it's been quite the adjustment because me and my husband went petless for 10.5 years. And anyway, after I got home, I saw the receipt for this lavender fabric inside, and the fabric's name is Shadow Play. And the last cat that I had that died in December of 2012 was Shadow. I love you, Shadow, and I miss you. Anyway, here's this pouch. And like I said, it's going to be a misfit. It is crooked. I knew it was going to be crooked, but I thought maybe once I turned it out that it would turn out okay. I mean, my zipper tab sides here, they turned out all right. But no, I'm not too happy with it. So misfit it is. Hopefully my next video, it will be farmer's market worthy. But I have fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.